63, which graphic organizer is used to show events in chronological order? Is it letter A, story map and cycle? Letter B, timeline and story map? Letter C, timeline and series of events chart? Letter D, series of events charts and story map? Okay, what's the correct answer for number 63? All right, iba-iba na yung answers nyo. There's C, there's A, there's B. Okay. All right, so again, your question is graphic organizer to show events in chronological order. Pagkakasunod-sunod ng order ng events. Okay, let's take a look at our slide. Now, this here is a story map. Ito po yung story map. Usually, this is used, a graphic organizer that is used to answer the questions who, what, where, why, and when about a story. Okay, so sino yung mga characters, ano nangyari, saan yung setting, and so on. That's a story map. Ito naman po yung ating cycle, very common life cycle, okay? So, pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga events, but of course, when you say cycle, it does not stop, okay? It goes on forever, okay? That's a cycle. Now, this is your timeline. So, timeline, meron ka mga dates, and then what happened in those dates. Okay, so that's an example of your timeline. And then this one is your series of events or sequence of events. So, this is event 1, and then what happens, and then followed by the next event, and so on. Okay, so very clear. Your answer should have been letter C, timeline and series of events chart. So, that's the correct answer, letter C is the correct answer for number 63. Timeline and series of events chart. All right, now we go to number 64. The best way for a teacher to impart values to his pupils is, what is the best way for you to impart values to your pupils? Is it through letter A, constant repetition of action to make them routinely, classroom management mo yan, inflicting corporal punishment, so kailangan bang hinihit mo yung bata, acting as a role model, always scolding his pupils. Palagi mo pinapagalitan yung mga estudyante mo. What is the correct answer for number 64? Okay, number 64, very easy. It's letter C, acting as a model or as a role model, okay? So again, we say values are caught, not taught. So kahit na anong sabi mo sa mga estudyante mo, kung hindi mo naman ginagawa, sarili mo mismo, hindi din nila gagawin, okay? So acting as a role model is very important. Now, 65, who are not covered by the Code of Ethics of Professional Teachers? Sino ang hindi covered ng Code of Ethics? Is it letter A, teachers of academic, vocational, special, technical, or non-formal institutions? Letter B, all full-time or part-time public and private school teacher and administrator. Letter C, teacher in the tertiary level. Letter D, teacher in all educational institutions at the preschool, elementary, and secondary level. What's the answer for number 65? Okay, so many of you are answering letter C. Good job. All right. Now, according to Article 1 of our Code of Conduct, okay, Section 2 here says this code covers all public and private school teachers in all educational institutions at the preschool, primary, elementary, secondary levels, whether academic, vocational, special, technical, etc. Hindi lang po na-mention would be tertiary. Okay, so hindi na-mention would be tertiary. So that means the correct answer would be letter C, teacher in the tertiary level. Kaya yung mga college professors natin, hindi po sila saklaw ng Code of Ethics of Professional Teachers. Now, it might come out in the LEP. Isa sa mga common questions din sa mga LEP, sa LEP, no? What will you do if you have fallen in love with your student? Okay, what are you going to do if you have fallen in love with your student? Anong gagawin mo? Would you say you should not have a relationship with your student? It's not allowed by the code. You should be discreet, so itago lamang, and that's okay. You should wait before the student graduates, then you can have a relationship. Or just have a relationship with your student. Don't care about other people. Okay, so again, your question is, what will you do if you have fallen in love with your student? Okay, so meron kayong relasyon ng yung estudyante. What will you do then? Okay, ano kaya yung magiging sagot pag nagka-relasyon ka or nagka-inlavan kayo ng iyong estudyante? All right, so some of you here have answered, be discreet, wait for the student to graduate, be professional and advise discretion, wait until she graduates, be discreet, Magugulat po kayo. According to our constitution, pwede kayong magkarelasyon. But you need to be discreet. Okay? Yes, tama po si Ma'am Sweet Mansanas. Discreet lang. Po pwede. You don't need to wait for him or her to be to graduate. But of course, ang pangit naman syempre na boyfriend mo, girlfriend mo yung estudyante mo. Pero according to our constitution, just be discreet. You don't need to wait for the student to graduate. Just be discreet. Okay? So tandaan po yan. Pag lumabas sa let, alam niyo na po yung tamang sagot. Just be discreet in having your relationship with your student.